All right, peace, everybody. Welcome back to All Viral Access Media. We have a guest on the show today. This is going to be pretty good. We have King D Money from out of Cali, and he's the friend of Tranell Williams, the guy who allegedly murdered Reggie Carrol, which is Katt Williams' bodyguard. So we're gonna tap into a little bit of history that they have because he knew him. They got a good history, a long history. Knew him since he was 16. So let me introduce King D Money. What's poppin', fam?
Chilling right now, Mike. Long time, subscriber, since the Kanika Jenkins, I think it was, when I
Oh,
had first came across, your channel.
yes, sir.
Yep. So, I've been subscribed, for a long time, man. I've been following your work, man. Congrats on everything that you do. But yeah, I'm D Money DMG, Dubstar Media Group, is a team. And I've been knowing, Tranell Williams, like I said in my video that I had uploaded, since 2005. And his mother and his two siblings lived a few doors down from me, out here in the town that I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
And we 2005, he was connected with Tranell, Ace the Truth, Will Rap for Food, Too Tall. He got so many damn AKA names and stuff. But Tranell Williams, he's from Inglewood, Queen Street, the same hood Bosco and Mac 10 is from and stuff like that. And so when he came out here to San Bernardino, he was doing music, and he was a dope rapper. And we created a movement. It was called the Movement back then at that time. And yeah, so we were selling CDs, made thousands and thousands and thousands of copies and stuff like that. So his sister is the one that actually introduced me to him. She was like, I got a brother that does music, and he be messing with Game and Glasses Malone and people from LA and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, yeah, for sure. When he come out here, just let me know. So he came out here in 2005, like towards the end of the year, like right before Christmas, and he had ended up getting shot. Some shit ended up going on, he got into it. He came out here or whatever. And then so we built a bond. And then I had, other friends around, we did beat production, songwriting, ghostwriting and all of that, So yeah. And then, fast forward all the way up until 2000 and about 2012, he introduced me, well, actually kind of back it up just a little bit. He had
Mm-hmm.
told me that, he was going to get connected with Suge Knight, and so I'm like, you sure you want to get, like, acquainted, with Suge Knight? You know what they allegedly said he was behind, Tupac's, all that other extra shit, and it's not true. But nonetheless, though, and I was like, oh, okay, for sure, And he was like, and Suge is doing, not I don't know if he was doing security or he had some type of relationship, with Katt to where they were just touring and doing a lot of things. So he ended up connecting with them, and he had asked me like, "Hey, yo, D, you want to come to LA? We about to be on Melrose.
Right.
I think it was on Melrose. It was a comedy club and stuff like that." I'm like, "Oh yeah, for sure." And this is like probably a year or two before the situation happened with Suge. So then we go to the club, and we chilling and stuff like that or whatever. And he introduced me to Katt and Suge and all of that. And so Katt is actually the same, like on camera and off camera. The nigga's wild like a mug, you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
so he was so I was around, for a while, and I met Katt, I think like maybe like three times, and met Suge, I think, once. And so but yeah, so me and him had a falling out, and it's not no beef like that or none of that. It was just I just couldn't mess with him no more, man. He got too much ego and pride, and he just don't listen. So
Right.
I cut ties with him about back in 2018, and then ever since then, from time to time, he'll pop up. Because he at first he had, like, at the time when we stopped chilling, he had he had stopped doing security with Cap for like a few years, and then I guess just as of recent, I don't know how recent, and he ended up got with Cat, and then this unfortunate situation happened that he allegedly did, and so this is where it is right here.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy because I felt like I listened to the video that you sent to me
Yeah.
um because I took a piece from what I forgot who was saying it. Was talking about how was it I think Red Grant, one of them, forgot right now, but that was saying that that he was Reggie, like he was one of those, you know what I'm saying? He was a comedian in security, and maybe his ego. Matter of fact, Corey Holcomb said
Corey
that.
Holcomb.
Corey Holcomb,
Yeah.
that Reggie, he's a comedian, but he one of those dudes. He don't play games, and probably his ego and Tranell's ego probably clash. From what I'm hearing, that he got shot with a shotgun. He got shot with a fucking shotgun. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
bro. That's yeah. Not to cut you off, but yeah, that is the craziest thing about it, because it's like, damn, a shotty. I mean, don't you use shotguns for like hunting and for bears and deers and shit? Like that's like hunting, type of thing. So like, he usually would have a 9mm or a Glock or something like that, and then for it to be like 5 times when before we heard that it was a shotgun, I thought it was like actually just 5 bullets, and even that is like too excessive, because unless someone is coming at you like with a knife, or they whip out and you pull out first and then you protected yourself, okay, cool. But like the whole shotgun thing is now, it's like take a twist, like for the worst. Like it's just like, wow, damn, a shotty, like that's wild, like Elmer Fudd type shit, like what the fuck, that's
For
crazy.
real. Did you see the press conference? Because I didn't see. I just was looking for something, and I see that they did a press conference already. Did you watch that?
Yeah, but it's something strange about that, Mike, because it's like he's like, oh yeah, he's like, oh, well, I don't really want to say, but yeah, so and he was real shaky, and it was just, I don't know, it seemed like a little too scripted. I don't know. It's just something. It's something just not sitting right with me. Like I don't know what that was about, but I definitely seen it. And then he was like, okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say this, and well, okay, well, I don't know. It was just something strange about that, though.
Let me watch it real quick, because I swear to God, this is my first time, so this is just sidebar.
Mm-hmm.
Chief Kern and members of his team who are here today as well. We're here today to talk about the shooting death of Reggie Carrol. I understand in the last 7 days there's been a lot of questions and public inquiry and obvious interest for a number of reasons. Most notably, it's the loss of life, and obviously we feel for the family and those that are left.
I'm not going to say the whole thing though.
Mr. Carrol was well loved by many, and so obviously this is a hard time for people, and people want answers. And so unfortunately, at this stage, there's only so much we can share. I'll share with you what I think I can.
You're not going to believe what happened. Tell me everything. I'll show you on Monday.com. So I started the biggest.
Basically, like I said, there's a call for service related to a shooting incident on Burton Lane here in South Haven. It was last Wednesday, round about 6:30. That kind of time frame, anyways. Police arrived on scene very quickly. When they got there, there were 2 people. You had Tranell Williams and Reggie Carrol. So we have our shooter and our victim. They were both there. The police immediately kind of quartered them off to where they could make room to give aid or make life-saving attempts for Mr. Carrol. Quite frankly, at that point, he had already received multiple wounds. But as a matter of course, the police did every reasonable effort to try to help. Mr. Carrol was transported to the hospital where they could continue to try to help. At some point in the process, Mr. Carrol succumbed to those injuries. While that was going on, the investigation began. They did everything that you would ordinarily expect in an investigation. to take pictures, gather evidence, talk to people that may have knowledge of anything related to this. And ultimately, they developed Tranell Williams as a suspect. They believe through their diligent and thorough efforts that probable cause existed for an arrest warrant. An arrest warrant was signed by a judge, and Mr. Williams was taken into custody same night. I do want to dispel a few,
that's it.
I don't know, rumors that may be going around. This was an incident between two roommates that knew each other. One of them is from California. One of them is from Maryland. This is not an indication that there's a problem in that community or neighborhood. This is not indicative of a violent crime issue in our city. It's just an isolated event that's limited to those two people involved. I know, and I don't want to gratuitously name drop, but based on their jobs as and their professions in the comedy world, they obviously run in the same circles with the same comedians. I want it to be clear that there's never been any reason before or now to believe that any of those comedians or organizations, business organizations, were involved in any way.
All right, so that's my first time really listening to that. Oh, you dropped out.
Mm-hmm.
You good?
Yeah. My bad. You can hear me now?
Yeah, you good. Yeah, I didn't even know that they did the what's the name, but so it says, basically, it's probably just between those two isolated incident. I mean, we always jump out off the roof with conspiracy theory. Either can be true, but do you think Katt Williams has something to do with it?
Nah. Well, also, no, just for the record, no, I don't. Now, there was an eviction notice. Did you end up seeing that? Like eviction notice that had his name, and I don't know if it had, I just remember it had his name on it.
It didn't have Katt name. It only had his clothing line website, Onyx Owl, and some other names.
Yeah. I mean, I highly doubt. I mean, and even if he did, have something to do with it, I mean, what is what's the benefit of it? Because it's don't Katt have Reggie on his tour, and he's rolling with him, and because this is my first time even hearing Reggie's name in comedy. I don't think I've ever seen him ever. And then even these other comedians, the other dude that's talking about this is what we're not going to do, Katt. This is what we're not going to do. What is that guy name?
Ali Sadiq.
No, not him. The other guy that just went on this rant and he tagged, Katt I don't know, like less than 24 hours ago. You ain't seen it, talking about him and Suge is gay, and he tagged him with about 3 or 4, 5, 6 paragraphs. It's on the guy he's a comedian too.
Not Sancho.
No, not him. No, the guy he looked like he looked like the R&B singer Bobby Valentino. He's the dude that in his car, he keep going on this rant. He's the only one that's really talking about Monique, and he's calling out all of the comedians. I forget his name. I can't even think of it right now. But yeah. So I haven't even heard of him before. So yeah, and so I don't know. And then Katt and Reggie, they I think around the same age or something like that. And so yeah, I highly doubt Katt had anything to do with it. And then everything is still I said earlier, so fuzzy that what really popped off? You know what I mean? Where's the body cam? I mean, they just took, Tranell in, because he was there, just because he was, and then there's so many different other stories, it may have happened in the house and then took the body out. And then the guy that I was talking about, he said that it was on the curb. Why'd you leave, my boy, out there on the curb, like, Katt, we need answers, and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Nobody to anybody, anything like that, from what Corey Holcomb said, or he thought or whatever. But yeah, the whole situation is crazy, and I thought I seen something where the body was missing for a little bit or something, and being misplaced like that. So, but far as you knowing him, and y'all breaking up, y'all came back together again, rekindle this crew, rapping duo or whatever, y'all click or whatever, to start rhyming again, do music, and y'all fell out of it. So from what I get from you is that his ego is, and he's hard to get along with, and there's always some kind of toxic energy around him. So
yeah.
Of you knowing that's him personally, like that's just his character.
Wait, you kind of broke up. Say the last part again.
No, I was saying that since you know him, this situation that happened, it could have been because of how his ego is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like how he personally is. He creates a lot of negative energy and he fall out with people. So could it have been that?
Yeah, most definitely. And that's what it is, with me and him. Like, I've always been a humble guy, man. Like, I'm saying? Like, since, a kid, man, and I always respect everybody. You feel what I'm saying? And like, if I'm rolling with you, you my boy, I'm saying? Nigga, I'm not gonna snake you. I'm not gonna, mess around with your wife, because he had, I guess, she was a little scrape or whatever. But anyways, he had needed me to be able to watch him. Or not watch him. He needed me to watch, her, like keep an eye out on her, and she was going to sleep in front of my house, because he had to go do some time, maybe like a month in jail and stuff like that. But his little thing, what I'm saying, like, was, hey, what's up, like, trying to, hit on me, this, that, and that. I'm like, girl, get on, like, you feel what I'm saying, like, yeah, but she would always try to hit on me and stuff. So, my point that I'm trying to make is that if I'm your boy to the end. I don't do no snake shit at all to no one. But and so when his moms, I'm saying, when he would get into it with his mom and they'll get into it, he get kicked out, and then he'll be like, hey, yo, D Money, can I come through and stay for about like a day or two? My mom's kicked me out and da da da. And I'm like, all right, for sure. And then when he fell out with his cousin up north, this is back in like 07, 06, 07 or whatever, he got into it with his cousin, and the cousin had to call the police on him, and then he like stopped messing, or his cousin stopped messing with him. And then I was always the one that would man, through it all, man, like, if you ain't got nobody else by your side, bro, like, I got you. We started this movement, and we were, trying to get signed, do all of that, good stuff, like how, we used to do back in the days to try to get record deals and stuff like that, and so, yeah, and I was the last person, like, that was just like, what, man. And then he had end up, the one last thing is, he went to my boy in them studio, Moot, and I think this was like maybe around like the end of 2017, because I stopped messing with him in like January of 2018. But he got into it with them, and my boy hit me like, hey, D, man, like, hey, Ace, we call him Ace the Truth. That was his like first name. So Ace, I'm gonna call him Ace or whatever. Like, Ace can't come over here no more, man, because he was over here, with another, reputable, from his hood or whatever, and trying to show out for him and all of that. And then everybody was like, yeah, man, he can't come over no more, and so it's just like everybody was just cutting him off. And then me and him had a little business situation that I was supposed to, get, a lot of money, and we were supposed to do this and do that. Then it came down to where it just went bad, and then I didn't get what he said I was going to get, the amount. Then he got into it with my brother, and I'm just like, you know what, bro, at this point in time, man, I can't do it no more, bro. Hey, get whatever you need from, on the side of my little house or whatever, and my little garage, and then, keep it pushing, bro. Like, just get on, like, hey, yo, bro, come on, D, like, nigga, we can catch the friendly fade and woo. I'm like, bro, we ain't about to catch nothing, bro. Catch your ass in this car and get the hell home, bro, because it's just too much. I don't want to hear nothing, bro. Like, niggas try to look out for you plenty of times when nobody was there for you at all. Like, you feel what I'm saying? And then so I stopped messing with him back in 2018. And then there was another situation where he had, something going on with like a investor, and he tripped out on him, and like, and then he lost the deal or whatever, it went bad or something like that, but basically, yeah, it's for sure an ego thing, man. So I don't know, man, but yeah, something definitely had to have happened because yeah, man, just the whole shoddy thing, like, and then the craziest thing I had seen on Grindface. I don't know if you heard of Grindface. He out here in, like, you know, the Inland Empire, San Bernardino. You ever heard Grindface? Instagram page.
Grind face.
Yeah, Grindface. Yeah, yeah. It's
Sounds
a
familiar.
guy named.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, it'd be like grind face. They'll like put the little audio in there. But anyways, he had tagged him and was, you know, making, I don't know, it's about like 5-6 different clips. He was rapping on one of them, and then ironically, you know, Grindface had ended up taking it down. I was going to go back through it, but yeah, and then he always be showing guns and stuff like this, and he had like a whole AR, like, you know what I mean, like on the on one of the videos and stuff like that. And I'm just like, then he was just saying like, we'll rap for food, we'll rap for food, we'll rap for food. Look, hey, Grindface, hey, look at this. You know, I'm out here in Miami, and we'll be showing Gucci and Louis and this, that, and other. And he's doing like a lot of little troll little things or whatever to get attention. But nonetheless, though, but yeah, he's really known for just guns, and he would just always show big ARs and big, you know, this and lasers and all of that and a whole bunch of stuff, you know. So it's just, so yeah, back to the point of the matter is, like, yeah, man, his ego. I mean, even, you know, his sister, rest in peace, man. Like, you know, she couldn't deal with him, his brother, like, and everybody, like, he falls out with everyone, bro. And I guess that is his only huh?
No, I was saying he's toxic. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot
of
man. Energy. Go ahead.
Yeah, so yeah, you know, and like I say, you know, he is a loyal dude for sure, man. Like, you know, when he was with me and, like, you know, certain things need to be done, he can handle it for me and all of that, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But that's like, loyalty is not enough when you got a toxic, you know, energy and a vibe around you. And a lot of people, just when I would bring him around, my sisters and them, they like, it's just something about this guy. Like, I don't know, like, even when we were kids, you know what I'm saying? Because I think I was 16 and he's only 2 years older than me. And when I would bring him around, like, you know, my stepdad and my mom's like, they like, you know, yeah, he's cool and all. He can rap and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so, but yeah, man, and I don't know, it's crazy, man, but that's one thing that I know about him, man, is, yeah, he got, you know, he got he got a swastika on his arm, like right up in here. He got Osama bin Laden right here. I was the one that paid for half of the tattoo and stuff like that. Then he got I don't know, he got some wild, crazy ass tats. He got QSB blasted on his stomach, you know what I'm saying? And then he got tats all over, and, like, yeah, you know, I'll go through some of the videos and stuff like that, and chop it and stuff like that and send it to you, man. But yeah, I mean, the boy is wild, man. And so, like, yeah, I cannot, you know, speak on anything that happened at that house, you know, that night. But it's a sad thing, and, you know, rest in peace to Reggie Carrol, man, and you know, condolences to his family and stuff like that, because I know this is a hard time, you know. And you know, I just lost my mom about a week and a half ago.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And so,
yeah,
man.
For real.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. So I'm trying to stay strong, man. And so, yeah, man, like, whatever happened, man, like, you know, to go out like that, you know, with shotgun blast and stuff, you know, from what they're, you know, saying, and, like, it's just like, wow, man. But, you know, it's crazy times that we in, man. And but yeah, you know, it was either me, you know, stop messing with him and leave him completely alone like I did, or we could have been in some crazy situation where I could have popped him, he could have popped me, my brother, because he would get into it with my brother a lot. And I'm like, man, like, hey, man, y'all chill out. You know what I mean? They're debating and this, that, and other. It's just, you know, it'd be getting, you know, but
yeah,
nonetheless, though, that's what it is, you know. Ace the Truth, Will Rap for Food, too tall blood, like, you know, the Suge them gave him. And then, you know, the rapper, the game is the one that told him to change, because his mixtape was Will Rap for Food back in the days, and obviously you see him with the cardboard sign and stuff like that. You know, we used to be pushing around, and then the game has said, no, change your name to Will Rap for Food and drop the Ace the Truth and stuff like that, I guess, for marketing, you know, things, whatever. Right. And but yeah, he got the song out, you know, with Katt Williams and stuff, and he rapped over that Jay-Z beat. I forget the name of the song, but yeah, he been doing music for a long time, and he was really dope. And I was the one that I was trying to teach him how to count, you know, 16s and 8 bar hooks and bridges and stuff. And I'm like, bro, you're rapping your verse over the hook. That you're not supposed to come in right here. You have to do,
Right.
but he I'm like, bro, this is how you structure a song. He didn't even know how to put together a song. He just punchline, metaphors,
Right.
double entendres, similes and stuff. So yeah, man, but he just wouldn't listen in the studio, and then we'll tell him certain things, and he just wanted to do whatever he wanted to do, and he feel like he's the genius, like one of the smartest niggas and stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, bro, hey, it is what it is, man. But yeah, I had to cut ties with him and stuff like that, man. He was just doing too much.
Listen,
man.
it just seemed like whatever would have happened, even if y'all would have been successful, it would have been unsuccessful because of his energy and how he operates. That's what I get. It probably would have crumbled. You know what I mean? Y'all would have broke up or whatever. Like, so I just see a lot. I just want to play this one last clip. It's real short. It's from
go ahead.
He did an interview on Forgotten King. So salute to them real quick. And he explained.
Him and Emre.
Yeah.
What in the world could have caused someone to shoot this man with a shotgun? Now, mind you, Tranell is supposedly 6'8", 280 pounds. If we look at the damn mugshot, the man don't have no scratches, no nothing on his face. Doesn't look like a struggle. So I'm trying to figure out.
Here's the thing. If a man, let me tell you something. If that man got shot by that man, whether the cat was there, not there, but that's your team. Them your partners. You got that house for them. That's your partners. You gotta speak on behalf of your partners. Only time a mother can't say something if some lawyers got behind your ass and told you don't say nothing, go. So if the lawyers get behind you not to say nothing, what the fuck is you hide? Only time you need lawyers if you guilty of something. What you hide if you ain't got nothing to say? Then Red get his old goofy ass on me. I called him about 4 or 5 times. He ain't picked up the phone, but he gonna pick up. Man, my nigga Red. Man, shut the fuck. And let me say this, bro. Every time I talk to Reggie, and we talk 3 or 4 times a week, all the mother time.
Give it 2 minutes.
To tell me about Slim and they clowning and they have fun and Slim this, Slim that. Now all of a sudden Slim gonna kill him? Man, get the fuck. I don't believe it. Is he taking a rap? The way they move it, it's like that taking a rap for somebody. You know what I mean? Because it sounds like something. When you see everybody play the game, but the game changed real quickly when the murder is involved. See, when you got a real live dead body in the picture, now you acting like what you really is.
With Gemini and Google Vids,
I'm gonna play this a
AI
little
powers
bit more
collaborative video creation.
But he
So
trying to make
your business
sense.
can bring more.
He's making some sense.
You know, if you really who you say you is, have that same fly ass, player ass energy and explain what happened to our partner. That's really your friend, but you can't because the people that got behind you and told you sit your ass down and they parked you in a corner. Now they navigating this shit to get you out of it because if they navigating and they getting you out of it and you not saying nothing, what did you do, nigga? Did you do it? Because if you did it, then you acting like you did it, nigga. Speak up.
Now I'm gonna leave that one right there. The shit that bothered me because like you even said this earlier. You said this earlier. What about the cameras? The cameras.
The body camera. Yeah.
Look at how much money Katt got, and he brought that house for them to rent or whatever, live when they in that town, especially they on tour. You need protection. Where's the video footage? Was Katt there? Did he know what was going to happen? Did it, like he said, is he taking a rap for Katt? I don't know. I doubt it, man, because Katt, he ain't come this far to be this stupid. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm Katt the benefit of the doubt. But however, people be having issues with Katt too. That's around him from what I'm hearing, that he not that he likes all the attention, but he makes sure everybody knows he's the boss. And sometimes there's some kind of friction there. So and I land my plane that Corey Holcomb said that him and Reggie would he said, I don't even see how that would have matched because, Katt's crazy, Reggie crazy. I don't see how that was going to work anyway. So that always
Yeah.
stuck up my head. But go ahead.
Yeah. So that's the thing though. See, he's a crash out. He's for sure a crash out, for like whoever he's, protecting or whatever, because he told me multiple times and Katt is a hothead like a motherfucker too. And that's another thing. I've seen him in person, like, just trip out like nigga, something, yeah. And all of this stuff. And then, getting in the car and backing up into a person's car, boom, and then dip off. And this is when we went out there to Melrose at the comedy show. And like, then we dipping through the streets of, Hollywood and all of this stuff, man. This dude is wild. Like, and so he'll say like, hey, too tall, go get him, and he dropping him, boom, like whoever it is, like, that he got a problem with, he just boom, 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 like so. Yeah, so I don't know, man, but yeah, Katt is a hothead, and like, he's going to do whatever Katt say, you know what I'm saying, and that's the type of person that Katt needs around him to whatever he say do, like I'm paying you and you eating good, and I'm getting you thousands of dollars, and you living in fancy hotels, and all of that, and you're around all these other celebrities that you can connect with and get some ghostwriting things done or whatever the case may be. So yeah, Katt is a hothead. That's for sure. I've seen it in person.
Now it makes sense. Now before we get out of here, give me some more. Is there any more stories about Katt, because that'll play a part into this whole mystery of this situation. Is there any other situation that you've seen Katt like act crazy and shit like that besides that one you was talking about?
No, because I only hung out with him maybe about like about 2 or 3 times, and so it wasn't like a long period of time. Like I haven't like hung out with him like 3 or 4 or 5 hours. That one in particular time was like about maybe an hour and a half or something like that. Bare minimum. And so but that was just like a like a sample of how things really goes, like when they on tour and stuff like that, and so yeah, that's the only thing as far as like him physically doing something and turning up, and then he Ace is telling me like just listen because like we was at the comedy club, but once we had came out, we was in a parking lot, and everybody was just standing around, and then there was this one guy in particular that he was just roasting, like just I mean, for like about the guy was just standing there, and like he was just taking all of the jokes, and I don't know what ended up happening because I was inside with Suge and Ace, and Katt was already outside, so I don't know what transpired, outside, before we came out. And I'm like, hey, what's going on out here? He was just like, just listen to Katt, and he just like clowning him and roasting him and this, that, and the other, and then next thing you know, Katt gets in his truck. It was a white truck. I think he had at this time. I forget exactly what kind of truck it was. But anyway, so like he gets in the car and then like backs up, and the guy car is like parked like on the opposite side. They were parked on the opposite side, and he backed into his truck. Boom, boom, and then everybody was like, oh, like what I'm saying. And then Ace was like, come on. Let's go. Like we gotta follow Katt. Let's hop in. I'm like, no, bro. I gotta head back to the town. Like, man, I got like an hour drive, to get back to the town and stuff like that. I'm like, nah, I don't know what the hell's about to pop off and stuff like that. And but yeah, so it was just a lot of things that he would tell me personally and stuff like that. But actually, me seeing physically, like that was one of the wild things. And I'm like, damn, what type of time he on? And then I think it was either that day or another day. We were just flying through the streets of Hollywood and stuff like that, running red lights, and he don't care about tickets or none of that. He just doing like 100, damn near 100 miles an hour on the residential and stuff, So yeah, man, Katt was definitely, he was definitely a hothead, what I'm saying, and probably still is. And so I don't know. I don't know what, ended up happening, but it's gonna come out. Whatever get done in the dark is definitely gonna come to the light.
Right. And yeah, like I said, that footage, and that'll be crazy if they didn't have any footage. But besides that, just to sum it up, it could have just been basically they had a altercation or disagreement, him and Reggie, Tranell and Reggie, and they both hotheads, and it just went way it went. But damn, he got no marks on his face. You shot him with a shotgun. It's just crazy. Or what if Reggie would have had an incident with Katt, because it was both of them on the tour, and maybe they kind of bumped heads, and you know, they both had their egos, and Katt probably allegedly just gave Tranell the word, like, yo, whatever happens, man. I got you. So I don't know, man. What's your thoughts as we close out? Or is this just sum everything up?
You know, it's like I say, you know, it can go either way. Like, you know, the example like that you just, you know, gave that, you know, Katt, like, hey, I got you, whatever, you know what I mean? It, you know, anything is possible. You feel what I'm saying? Like anything is possible. And so, it's just tragic, man, because, it's just too much going on, man, you know, in the world as it is. And, you know, for me to have, you know, my boy had tagged me in it. You know, this is another, you know, partner of mine that, you know, was all, you know, a part of the movement. He had hit me. He was like, hey, man, did you see what happened with Ace? He was like, I thought you had, uploaded that on Facebook. And I'm like, nah, like, what happened? He was like, man, I think, you know, he ended up catching a body for Katt. I'm like, what, for real? So then I started to do my research, but like, at this time, it happened like maybe like 4 or 5 days ago, you know, prior to when my boy had hit me up. And I'm like, why isn't like, you know, academics touching on this? Why, you know, Adam and TMZ and all of these people, they're not really saying anything. It's like everybody's silent. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, you know, so I don't know, man. But we shall see. And he was supposed to have court, you know, this past Wednesday. Today, Friday, right? Yeah, this past Wednesday. And then they postponed it, I guess, until next week and stuff. And so you know, what's his name should show up to the court. You know, that one guy, you know, that was a friend of his. I don't know. And you say you can't remember his name, the guy that's doing all of the ranting, and he's the one that jumped out the window talking about Katt is behind.
I wish you could look up a picture right now. I forgot. I really don't know. I don't know.
It's cool. We'll put it together. You know what I mean? And there's, you know, some other things that, you know, we can tap into it and all of that. You know, but this is just speaking specifically on the Reggie Carrol thing right here. So, but yeah, man, that's where I want to land my plane, and I definitely appreciate you, you know, for you know, reaching out, you know, to me and stuff like that. And
Yes, sir,
you
man.
know, we'll definitely chat behind the scenes and stuff.
All right, man, and again, my condolences, not to bring it up, but trust me, I know that feeling. I don't even know. I'm still maintaining my mother and my grandmother. I got them on the wall, and my brother, but my brother passed in 2012. Last year, my grandmother and my mother died 6 months apart on the same day. Last year.
Wow. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't even know how I'm. Thank you, King. I don't even know how I'm functioning like that, because I'm torn. You know what I mean? So sincerely, my condolences, King. Real talk, man. Yeah. And I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
All right, man. Stay up.
Tap in with you, man.
Say
yes,
less.
sir. Likewise.
Peace.
Yeah. Peace.
All right.